Everybody, and welcome to another Meaningful Monday. So for anyone who's never watched Meaningful Monday before, just to tell you, it's about raising awareness to help us live a better and better life, to have an awareness that we do create our own reality, that we're not victims, and that everything that we really want in our life is really within our own reach, in the sense that we do create our results and determine our futures. Hey, John, welcome. But if you can hear me, John, can you? Hi. So, so the purpose of Meaningful Monday, as I said, is to just guide people more and more, because you can't really get a person to fully, just in a heartbeat, who hasn't thought they create their own reality, just suddenly change their belief and say, oh, I do create my own reality. It's actually a journey, and I speak for myself. For me, it came about when I watched the movie The Secret in 2006. I thought, oh, we really do actually create our own reality with our thoughts and with our feelings. And that sounds so simple, like, oh yeah, everybody knows that. Well, if everybody knows that, then why do people struggle to change the results in their life to what they really want so often? Every one of us has areas in our life that we want better results. And it really comes down, first and foremost, truly, to the thoughts we think. And then every thought is just like a trigger, like a light switch. As you think the thought, you have an emotion, and that emotion is what we would deem a mood. So if you're feeling positive emotion or negative emotion, it means that you're aware of the vibration that you're actually in, which we can call a mood, but it's actually a vibration. So the law of attraction, which is also the law of vibration, says like attracts like. So whatever we're feeling, we attract more into our life that's an equal match to that we're feeling. And really the purpose of Meaningful Monday is inch by inch, or millimeter by millimeter, is to just share more and more ideas, topics, and meaningful subjects that help bring that awareness and another angle as to how can we actually apply a little bit more every day in our lives. Well, this is once a month, so the first Monday of every month is Meaningful Monday, but if we could just try and apply the thing that we learn on the first Monday of a month a little bit more with awareness through that month, we really and truly can change our lives quite significantly. But as I say, it's inch by inch. It doesn't just happen in a mile. You can't just suddenly get there overnight. So the topic for tonight, welcome George, I see you've joined. That's so nice. I hope you're with Betty. So hello. If you want to speak at any time, please do. So tonight, the topic is about self-love, but it's titled First Love. So first and foremost, the relationship that we need to really nurture and that we need to really pay a lot of attention to and really focus on, which we really don't do without intention, is the relationship with ourselves. Because we know this, you've heard this before. I'm sure this is not something that is new to anyone. Somewhere in your life you've heard every relationship starts with yourself. So how much you love yourself is your equal ability to love anyone else. That's not new. But what might be new is actually practicing it. Because we don't. The majority of the time, the average person, I'm talking in general terms, does not love themselves. Seriously, they are better at the relationships and loving other people first before they actually do the right thing by themselves. And this is so important because, I'll tell you this, you can have all the education in the world, you can have all the best self-help books, you can attend all the courses, get all the credentials, you could have it all in terms of knowledge. But if you don't have a healthy love for yourself, there is only a limit to how much you can actually apply in your life to bring you greater results, because whatever we have as results is equal to our degree of self-love or our self-worth or our self-image, including money. So money is also something that is related to our self-image. And there's a book called Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. It's a fantastic book. I recommend everyone reads it. The point of the book is you can change your self-image, your self-confidence, your self-esteem. So I want to talk about first love, self-love tonight, and just give a couple of pointers as to, where we go wrong and something that we could do to, little by little, love ourselves a bit more every day. Because it's exactly like, here's a cup, like this cup. If this cup is really just about empty, which it is, there's nothing really I can pour out of it. If I don't have anything in this cup, I can't give you anything. However, if my cup is full, like this glass of water, it's absolutely full, it means if my self-love was as full as this, I've got more to give. I can keep giving. And the truth is, love is actually infinite. I know this might sound a bit odd, or the first time you've heard it, but love is infinite. There is no lack of supply. And I'm a person of faith. I'm not too sure what your faith is or whatever it is, but for me, I believe, I call source energy or infinite intelligence, I call God. God is love, and love is infinite. The thing that we need to do is have an awareness of the relationship we have with ourselves and to start developing a stronger relationship in terms of how worthy we are and how worthy we feel. So before we get into it, I actually had this question. I want anyone here just to open your microphones and answer. How do you recognize a person who loves themselves?
They always treat themselves well when given that option, and they're motivated by a desire to grow. How does that do it for you?
I think that's fantastic. And why do you think they're motivated by a desire to grow? That's really fantastic. That's excellent. Why would you think that?
Because they don't have any room for self-pity or self-rejection or self-hate, so they want to improve themselves, they want to grow, they want to learn more. And they people, I think that that they have very good mental health. So if they fall, or if they slide or whatever, they have the capacity to pick themselves up again.
So they're more resilient.
Yes, they're more resilient, I would say, yes.
And resilience is equal to mental health. That's absolutely the correlation. That's what mental health is resilience, because people who are not resilient have declining mental health, can go into anxiety, can go into depression, and dementia has been proven to be an escape that the brain takes on this condition because it can't deal with the real world. So it's exactly to do with mental health and resilience. People who are very resilient don't suffer from poor mental health. So that's excellent. I think what I'd add to what you said, Denise, because it's really good, is people who love themselves, treat themselves well, and they're motivated by a desire to grow. And besides no room for self-pity, it's because they want to learn more. Why? Because they are worthy. They are worthy. They feel themselves worthy to be more educated, to pour more into themselves, to learn more things, because they feel that they're worthy. So that's a good example. And if anyone's got, George is on the line and John was with us. I'm not too sure if John's still with us. He might be dialing back in. Anyone else want to add how do you recognize a person who loves themselves? Or a question is, how do you recognize a person who doesn't love themselves? So on the extreme end of the scale, when a person doesn't love themselves, what they end up doing is abusing themselves. So it's unfortunate and it's very sad, but drugs, alcohol abuse, being in a relationship of abuse, all of those kind of things are a high degree of lack of self-love. And at the highest degree, it ends up becoming suicide. So self-love is so important, and it's not a small thing because it plays out actually into every area of our life. It plays out, which I'll take you through as we go through the presentation. It'll play out in your work life. Denise spoke about your personal development. Your personal development is something that should never end. I learned this from many teachers in my life. When I talk about teachers, spiritual teachers, or someone like John Maxwell. John Maxwell's 72 and he's teaching and leadership every day of his life, and he's writing more books. He's written over 80 books. He's still writing more books. He's personally investing in himself. He keeps growing. He keeps learning. And it's because the mindset is one of being growth focused and not goal focused. I'm not about getting this goal and then you're done and then you can sit back. It's about continuous growth. And we can only really have a mindset of continuous growth if we have a high degree of love for ourselves, that we're worthy of all that education and all that pouring into ourselves. And it makes the difference between purposeful, unpurposeful, happy, unhappy, really, going into old age, no matter what age you are now, just as you mature more and more in life, doing it with a positive attitude, a sense of motivation, a sense of enthusiasm for life, because you will always have that if you're growth focused. It's when you don't think you've got anything more to learn that, you sit back and you stop trying to improve yourself. And people will want to improve themselves when they see themselves as worthy. So I'm going to carry on and get in now to the presentation, but just to start off saying a lot of what I'm sharing here tonight comes from Dr. Wayne Dyer's wonderful book called The Erroneous Zones. And there was another Meaningful Monday, which is probably one of the best that I personally have ever done in terms of the content. I think it was so valuable. Was it called Taking Charge of Your Life? About taking 100% responsibility. And I urge anyone who hasn't watched that before to actually watch that. And if you watch that, it'll kind of complement this one that I'm doing tonight. And it says at the bottom there of the screen, listen to older recordings of Meaningful Monday on my YouTube channel called Silva Method Australia. Sorry, it says Silva Method there. It should be Silva Method Australia. But you can just Google my name or Meaningful Monday, it'll come up. And it's called Taking Charge of Your Life. All right, so tonight let's talk about first love is self-love. So what do we mean when we say first love? Well, what we really mean is that, as I said before, it's a genuine love for yourself. And it means that you actually look at yourself and have an intention to care for yourself the same way that you do with someone that you really cherish in your life. If you think about when you first get involved in a relationship, how much attention you pay to that other person, how mindful you are about everything that you say, that you do, and that you're very caring and you're very kind and you're very considerate. And, you put that person often first. And you want to make sure that if they're in your company and for a long time over mealtime, that they eat, that they're not hungry. If they're cold, you'll keep them warm, give them your jumper, whatever it may be. So if they're sad, you'll be empathetic. If they're down, you'll encourage them. If they've got a tough thing ahead of them in their life, you'll be right behind and supportive. So when we say, what do we mean by first love is doing this for yourself, doing exactly that for yourself as if you yourself were your most cherished partner. Now, many people think, oh yeah, I do care of myself, but we don't really ever care about ourselves often the same way you would someone who you absolutely love and cherish. And this is really where it all starts. And if a person could just get this and actually practice it, your life would really change, and you would suddenly have a greater capacity to love and care for anyone outside of you. So whatever you're doing is always to encourage yourself, always to build yourself up. It is never, never, never to break yourself down, speak badly of yourself, have negative self-talk. It's the very opposite of that. And we just know from statistics that the average person has about 80 to 87% negative thoughts every day, and a lot of them are self-directed. The biggest critics in our life are actually ourselves. So the truth is this: self-worth, what you are worth, it cannot be really verified by others ever. It should never be verified by others. It's not something else that people place on you, your self-worth. It's absolutely a you and you job. It's a you and you deal. So if I speak for myself here, I am 100% responsible for my own self-worth. If I ever make my self-worth about other people's opinion of me or how they value me, I'm always going to be in trouble. I'm always going to be insecure and never really be my best. So you need to be worthy in your life, not because of what anyone else does or says, but you need to be worthy in your life because you say so. You say it is so. And the minute you give that away to someone else, then you're going to always depend on other people for your worth, and that's, not right. And if you do that, you're not worth much. It can go anytime. It can go in a heartbeat. If a person doesn't keep affirming how worthy you are, it will dwindle. You'll just feel bad about yourself. You'll be an insecure person. You'll feel that you're not empowered without someone building you up all the time. You'll be permanently reliant on certain people in your life. You'll actually in their company, you'll be the one who drains their energy. You'll be the one that when you leave, they'll have a feeling that that person sucked the life out of me, or that person was quite draining. And you know that there are people like that. Sometimes you'll meet someone, and when they leave, you feel a sense of exhaustion almost, because their cup that I spoke about earlier, their cup is not full. So they're continuously drawing from everyone else's energy to make themselves, whatever it may be, feel better today, feel empathized with today, encouraged, whatever it may be. So self-worth can never be verified by others. It's a you and you deal. So how to love selflessly without giving up too much of the self? Well, loving selflessly is beautiful when you just give unconditionally and keep going, but it's not to give up yourself. So the only way that we can really love someone else or other people selflessly without giving up too much of ourselves is that if we genuinely love ourselves first. Because if you love yourselves first, you can never give too much because your cup is full, and your cup is continuously full, so you can keep going like a fountain. So number one is you have a bigger bucket to give out. As I said earlier, love is not finite. Love is a renewable source. It's infinite. It comes from an infinite source. The infinite source is love, so it can keep going. The more love you have for yourself, the more love you can share. Right? So number two is, if you genuinely love yourself, you'll never actually allow yourself to give too much either. You'll never have a feeling that I gave too much and you feel shortchanged or exhausted or whatever it is, because you will have a good, healthy self-preservation. You'll have a very good level of self-respect. And what comes with self-love and self-respect are healthy boundaries. And it's when our boundaries are not clear that we give too much. or that people can take too much, or that we keep saying yes. People who keep saying yes when they actually want to say no have got poor boundaries, and they do it because they want the thank you. They want the appreciation. They depend on other people for that value. If you have very good self-value, you don't say yes if you feel like saying no. I'm just making a note here. So that's a very big deal, boundaries. You'll see that people who've got a very healthy level of self-worth always let other people know where they stand, and they always do the right thing, not only by others, but by themselves as well. How many people do you know, they're doing the best for everyone, but they're running themselves into the ground, they're becoming exhausted, they get sick, they deplete themselves of energy, they don't take proper care of themselves, they're doing for everyone. That's not healthy. And that's actually a very poor role model example if you've got children or even anyone who's watching you. If you are parents, especially with moms, they give too much. I think mothers most of the time are giving too much. And I would say, really pay attention to this lesson tonight above all the others, and find ways in your life to take care of yourself and look after yourself. Yes, and then you've got more to give and care for others. Because if you don't, and you keep showing this selfless attitude, which you think is the right thing to do, you're teaching your children the wrong thing. You're teaching them to also give too much. And if we do that throughout our life, we shortchange ourselves all the time, and the worth that you have is not at the right, healthy, sustainable level. So think of others, think of others, think of others. Society tells us that. What I say, think of others, be kind, be considerate, think of others. And, the church says, love thy neighbor. But what no one seems to remember is love thyself. I must just say this, and I can't remember who it was. It might have even been John Maxwell. I was sitting in a lecture somewhere one day, and this quote came out: love thy neighbor as thyself. And the commandment is that you got to love yourself. So you love the other one as yourself. So the first love is your love of yourself. And if that's a great love and a healthy love, then you've got great love and a healthy love to love other people. But this whole thing about, do good for others, it's actually what I would deem almost like a social disease, to think that we need to just think of others all the time and not think of ourselves. We are honestly conditioned at some stage to think of others, and don't just think of yourself. We drummed in, it's selfish, don't just think of yourself. I'm not advocating to be selfish, that you're inconsiderate. But selfish is a negative connotation type word. So let's not use that word, because I'm never going to be able to convey the right meaning using selfish. You're going to think I've got this wrong. So put that word aside and just say 100% self-care first, and then care for everyone around you. Everyone makes the example of the analogy of putting the mask on in the plane, on yourself first and then on others. Yes, it's true. It really is about ourselves. So that first commandment is, do love yourself. And it's not just a little bit. It's as much as you possibly can, to the most. I told you, like a cherished partner, if we just did that and practiced it, we would be fantastic as friends, as partners, as parents, as colleagues. We would be better than we are today if we loved ourselves more. Now, when I talk about a social disease about giving, it's not something that you can just go away, like take a tablet and the disease is gone, or, have a quick shot in the arm or something. It's something that we have to train ourselves into. So we've all got the opportunity to improve on this particular subject. We've also grown up with the idea somehow that loving ourselves is conceited, or loving ourselves is wrong. Just love yourself. The person's in love. It's like there's something negative there. That is incorrect. I don't know where that came from or how it came, but it's almost like people who weren't so sure of themselves try to keep everyone else down so that they could feel comfortable. in their company. And this kind of drummed into us that, you know, you should please others ahead of yourself because then you'll be a good person. It's just conditioning that you're putting yourself last, and if you looked after yourself, you're a bad person. And I want to say we have to get rid of that idea, and we have to keep saying to ourselves, ask yourself every day, am I really looking after myself as best as I possibly can? Am I treating myself as my most prized, cherished person? If there was someone else in your life, or like mothers, how they care for their children. Can you care for yourself that way? Can you let the relationship begin with you? Because if you do, you are better for everyone around you. When we look at children, they naturally love themselves. Children love themselves. They think the world revolves around them. They love life. They want everything to be done for them because they feel that they should have it. They don't even have this judgment about worthy or not worthy. They just love themselves. But you know, society kind of conditions us through adolescence with different kinds of messages. For example, as I said, you know, don't think of yourself as too selfish, as too conceited, whatever it may be. Then what happens is self-doubt and low self-esteem begin to creep in. So then we start to question everything. You know, am I deserving? Am I worthy? We might not say this out loud. You might not even think this at a conscious level, but there's continuous self-doubt and the self-esteem starts to go down. And what we do is we then start to take on our own self-esteem as a relationship of how others are reflecting it back to us, or how others are treating us. When people say, oh, you've done so well, that's fantastic, you look really beautiful, you're so pretty today, you look wonderful, then we feel at that level, whatever. If a person says, oh, you look so beautiful, and you felt the compliment was a 9 out of 10, and they thought you 9 out of 10, you feel 9 out of 10. If someone doesn't give it to you or criticizes you and you feel like a 1 out of 10, now you feel like a 1 out of 10. This can't be right. And this is what adolescents are going through. I mean, anyone who's got kids or had teenagers or have teenagers, you'll know that they're so influenced by their friends. They are so influenced by their peers. They are highly sensitive to criticism. They're continuously struggling with self-doubt. They're continuously having moments where they don't understand or have a constant value of self-esteem or self-worth. And it starts around 13, and studies have shown that it's much higher in girls. So, you know, we do need to help teenagers develop a positive self-esteem any way that we can. Always encourage them, and always encourage them to not do things to please others. Because when we get into this habitual pattern of doing things to please others, then you lose yourself in the process. We need to do things because they're right for us and for others. It's the right thing to do, but definitely never doing it at our own expense, whatever it may be. Giving love to others is directly related to how much love you have for yourself. So that's why I said, you know, the saying that all relationships begin with a relationship with ourselves is so true. If we can even teach our kids to have a very healthy self-esteem and healthy self-love, you are actually equipping them to have better relationships in their adulthood. Because when they are deficit of self-esteem, they keep looking for the value in other people's comments and appreciation of them. And what happens? They often take the wrong behavior. And why is it especially girls? There's a saying that says, this is very sexist, so it's just a saying. I'm not saying anyone here is like that, but it goes like this, especially from a young age. Males use love to get sex, and females use sex to get love. And that's why this thing about self-doubt and low self-esteem is shown in studies to be higher with girls. Sometimes they get the wrong idea of what love is, and they think it's all about physical attraction and admiration, So they're actually giving the wrong thing in exchange just to receive more and more of that. So the healthier a girl's self-esteem is, the better equipped she is to look after herself, especially in the world that we live in today, where with social media, everything's a massive risk. They're very vulnerable, and boys are too, but talking particularly for girls. All right. And it just says here that girls tend to have a significantly more negative attitude towards themselves as compared to boys. And that girls regard themselves more negatively. So very important to, there's a post that I've seen on social media that says, if there's one good thing you can teach your daughters, is to be very comfortable in saying no and comfortable in disappointing others. If it's what they want to do. So it's really about, if you want to say no, say no. Don't ever say yes when you want to say no, and teach your children that as well. And even for us as adults, say no if you want to say no. If you can just teach yourself to do that, if you're struggling with that as you are today, it will change your life. It will, honestly, that's freedom. Freedom is doing what you want, when you want, how you want, with who you want, and never doing things out of obligation or out of expectation. Those two words, obligation, expectation, are the biggest cause of relationship issues. One of the biggest causes. So to get rid of that is when you've got a healthy self-love. Okay, so start by loving yourself. So the first thing is, feel that you are important. Remind yourself that you are worthy, that you are beautiful. You won't have to make other people's behavior conform to your dictates if you love yourself. I have to say this, and it's just something quite common. You might see this in others that you know, but when people don't really love themselves very much or have a very good self-image, they tend to be more controlling. And it's very difficult to have relationships with people like that. You'll find that people are very, very comfortable in their own skin, and they have a healthy self-love. They're more accepting. They're more accepting of other people. They don't try to control as much and control other people. They're comfortable in their own skin. It says number 2, get good at really loving yourself. Be in the business of being in love with you. Yes. If you are secure in yourself and you love yourself, you don't need or want other people to be like you. You accept them as they are because you love yourself as you are. So how you are with yourself is how you are with others. The third thing is, realize that you are enough. And this is so true. The only time you would ever think that you're not enough, ever, is because you're comparing yourself to somebody other than yourself. And I have to say it, comparison is the thief of joy. I might even repeat this more than once tonight, but comparison is the thief of joy. Anyone who thinks they're not enough, there's a comparison somewhere going on in their mind. If you can embrace the fact that you are unique, the only one on this entire planet, I don't know, we're 7 billion, almost 8, or maybe we've hit 8 already, I don't know, people. No one is like you, and in all of history behind us, no one's been like you, and in all of the future ahead of us, no one will be just you. You are unique, and because you are unique, tell yourself, I am enough, because you really are. And if you don't believe that, I don't know, get hold of me after this webinar. I'll have another chat with you. But it's nothing less than a limiting belief. You really are, as you are right now today, enough. And never have the thought that, I will be enough when I've lost 5 kilograms, or when I've got my degree, or when I've earned that extra so many $1,000, or when I've bought that house, or when no, right now as you are exactly enough. You're perfect, you're beautiful, and you're worth loving as you are. And you have to believe that about yourself. Otherwise, it's never going to be your experience of other people loving you if you don't even have that about yourself to begin with. It says that you cannot give what you don't have. So I spoke about that, your cup being full or empty. And the thing is, a person is never all positive all of the time. It's not possible. And no one is all negative all of the time. We have stages we all go through when some days are better than other days. So we need to know that. But when we're having bad days, don't beat yourself up about it and become overly critical and feel even worse about your bad day. Always put yourself in your mind in the position when you're having a bad day of how would you treat your most loved and cherished best friend. If you sat next to your best friend on a day when they were having a really bad day, how would you treat them? Wouldn't you encourage them? Wouldn't you say positive things to make them feel better? Encouragement. Be more enthusiastic about the future. Give them a feeling of hope. Try to bring them onto a positive viewpoint. Well, this is what we need to do for ourselves when we have a bad day. We tend to do, as human beings, the opposite. On a bad day, we beat ourselves up. So let's not do that. The bottom, it says, forgive yourself. Some people look at that and they go, I don't know why people keep talking about forgiving yourself. But you know, every one of us has got stuff that we've done in our lives that we don't want to think about, or that we want to bury, or that we want to just block out. It either brings us shame, it brings us maybe guilt, it makes us feel bad about ourselves. I don't know, something that we regret. Whatever that is, just help yourself come to the acceptance that, number one, you cannot change the past. And number two, ask yourself, what did I learn from that experience? And there's a gift in there, something that you can learn out of every bad experience. Take the gift and make yourself a better person, but then forgive yourself and let it go. You have to forgive yourself and really cut the ties like an umbilical cord and let it go. If you don't cut the ties, you're dragging behind you like shackles on your feet, a dead weight. It's holding you back, even though you may not think so, but it's holding you back on all kinds of levels in your life. It's holding you back on your relationship level, on your income level. Yes, on your income level too. Whenever we don't forgive ourselves or there's any feeling of self-negativity, it stands in the way of positive health, relationships, income, better spirituality, better peace of mind, happiness, a better life. So definitely take stock, go back in your life and take stock of the things you don't feel really good about, or things that you maybe view as mistakes or regrets, and take the time out to forgive yourself. I don't know what needs to be done, but forgive yourself. There are some processes. If you want something from me, I've got a separate program called Empowerment Mentoring, and there's a lesson on forgiveness there. There's a section on self-forgiveness, but you do need to do it. If you're a Silva graduate, the place to do it is in your laboratory. Go into your lab and do it in there and forgive yourself. You can even take that part of your life and cut it out like a scene in a movie and edit it out. Okay, so you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. So I really love that. That comes from Buddha, and the part that's bold there is your love. You deserve your love. And really, it all begins with the physical body. Can you believe? It really does. We are people who are very influenced by our five senses. We are just conditioned to judge things by what we hear, what we see, what we taste, what we touch, what we smell. But definitely, eyesight is 85% of our stimulus. So our physical body is a big deal. The question is, do you like your body? I have to tell you, if you answered no in some way to that question, work needs to be done, and you have to give yourself the chance to do the self-work and improve this relationship with yourself. So to love the body that you're in, here are 3 steps that I have that are quite simple. To accept the person that you see in the mirror, The first one is stop comparing. And I mean comparing with anybody or anything. It could be comparing to another person, someone that you know, a movie star, whatever, someone else. Or it can even be comparing to yourself 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 25 years ago, whatever it may be. Where you are today, you have to accept your body as you are today. You have to love the body you have. If your body needs improvement, let's say you could shed some kilos, you could become more fit, you could eat better, whatever it may be, great. Make that a goal, something to work on. However, don't let that be the reason that you don't love your body today. We need to love our body today as it is. And there's another Meaningful Monday that's got a whole lot of content. It's called, I think, Learning to Love Yourself. It's fabulous. It's very different to this content. It's not at all similar. It's a lot of information from Louise Hay there, including mirror work, where you look in the mirror, naked or dressed, every single day, and you tell yourself that you love yourself. And if that sounds a bit strange, you need to do it. That's all I can say. And if you do it and it feels really awkward doing it, you really need to continue doing it and persevere with it until that shifts for you. And you'll be surprised that if you can look into the mirror in your own eyes and, you know, say, whatever it is, Jeanine, I love you. I really, really love you, using your own name. If that seems a bit odd, you need to continue for sure. And there's information in that other Meaningful Monday of a course that I actually did with Louise Hay. Well, I didn't do it with her, but it was her course about mirror work. And it can absolutely change your life, because if your relationship with yourself changes and your perception of yourself and your self-love, your whole life is better. Everything is better. And you do better. You perform better. So accepting your current body is really important as it is. Accept it, every part of it. You can go from the top of your head, your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, too big, too small. No, accept it as it is. Your ears, breast, stomach, big, small, whatever it may be. Accept the body as it is. And then most importantly is number 3, appreciate your body. Absolutely appreciate it. Even take the time to think about all the functions that are going on, your digestion, your breathing, your blood circulation, your healing, and appreciate your body. Don't reject any part of it at all, no matter what it is. Just love it and appreciate it. It says here, losing weight does not cure negative body image. It's very true. If we have a negative body image, you can change the shape of it and you don't really change your self-worth or your self-image. So you have to condition yourself as you are to love yourself as you are. And you know what will happen? If you really start to love yourself and appreciate yourself, you automatically become healthier, because you value yourself and you won't treat it badly, because having an unhealthy body is a form of self-rejection. It's a demonstration of lack of self-love. It says, make non-acceptance of yourself a thing of the past. Really, most important, do that. Accept yourself, accept your body as it is. Okay, choosing more positive self-images. The first thing is, the happier that you make yourself, the better you perform at any task. This is scientifically proven. If people are unhappy or they feel bad about themselves or anything, they can do the same task and they'll perform poor compared to if they're feeling really happy and good about themselves. So that's important. Aptitude is a learned skill through deliberate practice. It's not an inborn quality. It's true. And it comes from deliberate practice. So if we love ourselves, we'll take the time out to work harder at whatever it is to refine our skills, improve ourselves, and do better. In your life, replace criticism with encouragement. Self-talk is so important. In the Silva method, The class that I run, for those of you who don't know, you can Google it afterwards, SILVA, Silva method. One of the very, very first exercises, the very first one that we do is about, it's called mental house cleaning, which is really about the cancel technique. If you say something negative, you say cancel, and you overwrite it with a positive statement. Why? Because it is so important. It's one of the most underestimated exercises ever. If you can replace in your life your self-criticism with words of self-encouragement, I promise you it can change your life. Instead of saying, oh, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid, I shouldn't have done it, I forgot this, I'm such an idiot. You say, I'll be better next time. This is okay. I'm really doing my best. I'm so appreciative of myself. I'm doing my best as I am, and everything's okay. And nothing's, everything's going to work out fine. And if you're nervous about something, tell yourself you can do it. I know I can do this. I've done big things before, and I've achieved things before. I can do it again. Encourage yourself like you encourage your best friend. Self-dislike can take on many forms, and perhaps you engage in some putting yourself down behavior, like rejecting compliments. That's massive. Like, this whole thing, yes, talking about yourself. Or I'm not smart, just lucky, I guess. Or, people who say, just ask my husband, he'll tell you. In other words, you need this opinion verified by someone else. One of the best places to start is by accepting a compliment, by just saying thanks for noticing. Someone said to me once, the best thing you can do when someone gives you a compliment is don't say anything else than this. Thank you for noticing. So I want you to practice that yourselves. Always just say thank you for noticing and nothing else. Never reject a compliment ever. And give yourself constructive criticism instead of being critical. Like, maybe if I tried to do whatever next time, I would be even better, instead of saying, I didn't do that thing right. Compliment yourself and those around you on what you have done well or what you have achieved. And then I've got you, well, we may not have done it all, but we did a pretty great job with what we did. So instead of saying, no, I didn't finish, whatever, tell yourself you did really well with the bit that you did, and you'll carry on tomorrow. Be very mindful of how we speak to ourselves. Oops, I'm not sure what happened there. Okay. In accepting yourself without complaint, there are two occasions when complaining is least appreciated in this world. This took me a bit of time to review and understand, but I do understand it now. There are two occasions when complaining is least appreciated. One is whenever you tell someone else that you're tired, or whenever you tell someone else that you don't feel well. It's not to say that you're not going to tell people how you feel. It's that you complain. If you just tell people how you feel, okay. But really to complain, all you're doing is really burdening another person with something that they cannot help you with. No one can help you be untired. No one can help you go to bed on time or get more sleep. So that's actually a form of lack of self-love. Why are you complaining about being tired? Instead of making a point of saying, I need more rest, sort it out. Go to bed early. Look after yourself. Take care of yourself. If you don't feel well, why are you complaining? Because sometimes we want pity or sympathy instead of taking care of ourselves. And the person that you're saying it to, you're burdening them because they can't change your health. So look after yourself. The minute you don't feel well, go and rest, go and lie down. Have lots of self-care. Put yourself first. Make sure that you stay in best health as you can. And then just to make it clear that self-love is not conceit. It's just healthy self-image and a healthy self-appreciation. It has nothing to do with telling everyone how wonderful you are. That's not what I'm saying. And it's also not an attempt to win the approval of others. It's also not boasting to try to, win favor with other people. And self-love does not require the individual to evaluate oneself for the purpose of convincing other people. We're not asking you to do that. Self-love means that you love yourself without demanding the love of others. Self-love means that you don't depend and rely on other people's appreciation of you. You love yourself and you accept yourself as you are, and your physical body unconditionally. Love yourself unconditionally. So it's not conceit, it's just having a really healthy self-image. Like this quote, love yourself first because that's who you'll spend the rest of your life with. Isn't it lovely when we're comfortable in our own skin and we do like ourselves in our own company? It's the best. Here's a bit of a list of things is coming, towards the end now. Some of the things you can use as exercises to master self-love. The first one is choose a new response to other people's attempts to reach you with love or acceptance. So accept it. Say thank you. As I said, with a compliment, just say thank you for noticing. Accept it. When people say whatever it may be, or they want to give you love, take it. When people want to give you something, accept it. When people want to buy you a coffee, say thank you very much and accept it and tell yourself, yes, I'm worthy. They want to buy me a coffee, thank you. No, you don't pay for me. That's also a form of self-rejection. The next one is, if there is something that you feel genuine love towards, or someone, that you feel genuine love towards, say it right out there. Just say, I love you. If you love someone, open your mouth and say, I love you. It really makes us feel good when we can do that. And you need to practice it if it's not something that you do now already. And you find that some people who don't do it are very surprised and sometimes shocked if they make a new friend or meet someone new who's very out like that and says, oh, I love you, and you don't really know each other that well, or you're not family or anything. There's nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful. If you love someone or you feel you really love that person, tell them. Tell them. It makes you feel good. It'll make their day. Don't hold back. Another thing is, after a tiring day, as I said, look after yourself. Go take a nap. Maybe meditate. If it helps you to feel energized to walk in nature or in a park, go and do that. Don't always say, I'm too busy. Too busy is a lack of self-love. Take care of yourself. Make it a priority. It'll make you feel better. Just on the words, too busy, from today on, replace the words, I'm so busy, or I'm too busy if you can't do something, to it's not a priority. Because if you say it's not a priority, you start making yourself aware as what are you prioritizing? And as I said, this whole lesson tonight, prioritize yourself. Take care of yourself. The next one is include new ways of treating your body, like choosing healthy food, nutritional food. If your body is sore or tired, treat yourself to a massage. Remember, treat yourself like your most cherished best friend or partner. If you want to stretch and loosen up and you're feeling best, go take a yoga class. Look after yourself. If you're a lady, go and have your nails done. Go and have your hair done. Go and do something that really treats you and makes you feel good. Show yourself actual acts of demonstrating self-love. Join an organization or a meetup group, or sign up for something that you'll enjoy. If it's music, get involved and go and play music. Do whatever it may be. That's something that makes you feel good. Art classes, whatever it may be. Eliminate jealousy by recognizing it's a put down of yourself. If you can think, this is jealousy. Jealousy is a belief that either you don't have something or can't maintain something. That's what jealousy is. That either you can't maintain or you don't have. So if you think of it that way, you're just telling yourself that you are inadequate compared to another person. That's lack of self-love. So when you ever feel jealous, it's a red light. It's a warning sign that you've got self-love to do. If you loved yourself, you would never be jealous, because you love yourself and accept yourself and everybody else as well. And you know what? If that person walks off into the sunset with another person, you'll say, thank goodness, not, where are you going? You'll say, thank goodness, because you weren't really meant for me. And you have a healthy self-preservation mindset that's not the right thing for you. That person rather be with someone else. Wonderful. Rather be with someone else. You be happier there. And then you know what? You weren't really happy with me, so I would be taking second best. Why would you want second best? So jealousy doesn't make sense. Make a list of your accomplishments. That definitely helps to improve your self-worth. Then the last thing here on the list, I've written there, try this. Just try this. It's called a learning model of achievement. take a piece of paper and draw a long line across. And whatever age you are, let's say you're 50. This one side is 0 and the other side is 50. Cut it up into decades from 0 to 10 years of age, 10 to 20, 30, 40, and 50, whatever age you are. And then take the time, it takes about 40 minutes, and write as many things as you can. Just put a little line up at that age of all your accomplishments, no matter what it was. Getting a prize at school, buying your first house, I don't know, getting an increase, successfully completing a project, graduating, as many things as you can of all your achievements. Go back to it another day and continuously add. And the more you do this, more memories will come back. Continuously add and go through the decades of your life and try and remember. And make sure you're using an A3 piece of paper, big one. I can promise you this, if you took the time to just try this, you would have such a huge amount of self-appreciation for all that you've achieved in your life, because the truth is, if you examine it, you've achieved so much. We need to remind ourselves. We need to think about that we have done, not that we aren't doing or that we haven't achieved yet. I like this quote. It says, love yourself enough to take the actions required for your happiness, enough to cut yourself loose from the drama-filled past. Let it go. Let the drama go and stop getting involved in it in the future too. Love yourself enough to set a high standard for your relationships. Don't let people treat you badly. Don't stand for it. Say something. Don't run and hide like with your head in the sand. Say something. Let people know how you respect yourself and how you want to be respected, and raise the standard for your relationship. It'll make you feel good about yourself. Also, love yourself enough to feed your mind and body in a healthy manner, like you're doing tonight. Well done, you're joining this webinar. Everything you're doing is to feed your mind and feed your body for better. So I commend you. I say, well done. High five to you for just even this tonight, whatever you do. Love yourself enough to forgive yourself. We've spoken about that. And love yourself enough to move on from anything that you're unhappy about that's past tense. Remember, we can't change the past. So let it go, whatever it is, and move on. As a child, you instinctively knew your self-worth. Set goals to be in love with the most beautiful, exciting, worthy person ever. You. That's from Wayne Dyer, and so true. Make the relationship you're going to work on most for this month ahead yourself. Decide this minute to never again beg anyone for the love, respect, and attention that you should be showing yourself. Give it to yourself. Don't expect it from anyone, and don't let other people's appreciation of you determine your own self-worth. This is the last slide of the presentation tonight, and it says, and then we'll do a meditation. Feelings of happiness, enthusiasm, inspiration, confidence, calmness, harmony, and peace depend upon the type of thoughts that habitually occupy the mind. So the word there is habitually occupy the mind. And I must just say the same goes for feelings of doubt, fear, worry, guilt, indecision, anxiety, despair, frustration, all the negative ones. It's always about the thoughts that habitually occupy the mind. So if you've done the Silva method, just a reminder, practice the cancel technique. And if you're in the household, teach it to everyone in your household. Practice it out loud together. And if you haven't done the Silva method, maybe Google it and look it up. That's just one of the techniques, but it really does help improve a negative mindset. And you know, we can all continuously improve. Even Silva grads of 50 years can still improve what thoughts habitually occupy the mind. It never ends. We can always continuously improve. So that's really important to just get better and better. Okay, so just before we go into the meditation, just tell you what's coming up. Next Meaningful Monday will be recorded. I'm not here. I'll be overseas. I'm on holiday. So I will send out the link in an email. You're all on the mailing list, and you can listen to it. And it's called Developing the Leader Within You. So what I'll be doing is, it's like a beautiful 45 to 50 minute presentation of some tips that you can take out and improve your leadership ability. And the questions is, why should you actually improve your leadership anyway? Like, why should you? Well, it does determine your level of effectiveness and success. And how do you do it? And what do we need to do to become better leaders? So it's in there. And there's also an intro to, if you wanted to join a mastermind that I'm doing, which is the study of a leadership book. One of John Maxwell, he's the best leadership author in the world. A mastermind is when we go through it every week for maybe an hour and a half as a group. And it's not about reading the book. It's about pulling out of the book what stands out for you and why, and how you apply it and integrate it into your life, and what the results are as you go through this longitudinal study, whatever it may be, 8 weeks or 10 weeks. So that'll be the intro, and it's also a Meaningful Monday. So whether you join the mastermind or not, developing the leader within you will be a great Meaningful Monday as a standalone anyway. Then for anyone who's curious about the Silva method or wants to review as a grad or wants to consider doing it, if you haven't done it before, those are the dates there. The September class is actually sold out. We might have 1 or 2 seats left. So if you want to join, please let me know. Otherwise, it's fantastic. I think we've got 14 people already. And then bookings for November are open. November's over 2 weekends. So if you need time off work, that's the best one to go for, because they're 2 weekends, the 2 week gap in between to practice. The price is there, just to tell you, you get free review for the rest of your life. Once you've done the Silva method, you only pay a seat charge. There's a full money back guarantee. And then if you've got children between 8 to 12 years of age and you want them to do the Silva method, contact me. Some classes are planned and others are by appointment. But otherwise, for the normal adults class, you can be 8 years and older and join. All right, so now we're going to do a quick meditation. So what I'd like you to do, if you haven't got one already, is just grab a pen and paper and just hold it gently in your hand in a comfortable position, because as we meditate with your eyes closed, towards the very end, I'm going to ask you 2 or 3 questions about the month ahead, which is, what is your intention? What do you need to focus on? What do you need to let go of? And whilst you're in a meditative state, your conscious mind is quite shut down, could I say, or very calm and not active. Then what tends to happen is answers come through intuition. So they come from your higher self, the wiser self. And those are generally and most likely truth or meaningful, and you can trust them, answers. So grab a pen and paper, get yourself comfortable. I'll just quickly get the sound on. And this is just to set your intention for the month ahead. And unbelievable to think it's September, and in 3 months it's the end of the year already. So for now, I'm going to just put my video off. You don't have to worry about yours. I can't see you anyway now, and no one else can either. So just relax. And just follow the guided instructions. So find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and take a nice deep breath, deep into your belly, not in your upper chest, a deep breath into your belly. And every time I say take a deep breath, make sure you take a breath into your belly. And then as you exhale, just allow all the tensions in your body to be released and kind of just float away. So now take another deep breath. And as you exhale, just feel your body relaxing. Feel the tensions leaving your scalp. Relax your scalp. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your whole face. Relax your tongue and jaw. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, relax your neck and shoulders, all the way down your arms, into your hands. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back, all the way down your spine. Relax your chest. Relax your abdominal area. Relax your hips and pelvic area. Take another deep breath and allow the tensions to leave your thighs. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet all the way down to your toes. You're now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. Continue to breathe deeply, slowly, and rhythmically. It's a wonderful feeling to be deeply relaxed, a very healthy state of being. Now you're going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, somewhere that you've been or somewhere that you'd like to go. But allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. So begin to experience this place of relaxation right now. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. The light is a healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of white light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. Feel it clearing away the stress and the tension and the clutter of the day. Feel this waterfall of white light now clearing the stress and tension of not only the past week, but also the past month, the entire past year, and even clearing away the stress, tension, and clutter of the lifetime of your energy field. Clearing it from your atmosphere, from your aura. As the light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now, take a deep breath, relax, go deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will occasionally be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love, and it fills you with self-love and self-appreciation. All those hurts you felt, all the pains you felt, the angry moments, allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are a unique and amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to think more clearly, focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Just take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month ahead. It is now time to set your intention for the month ahead, the month of September. Tune into your inner wisdom. Tune in to your higher self. That part of you that when you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. Feel the alignment with your higher self. Feel that connection. And whilst you're feeling very relaxed, ask yourself the following question. What do I need to focus on for the month of September? Whatever comes to mind, write it down, and then take a deep breath, close your eyes again, and just re-enter your meditative calm state. So the first question was, what do I need to focus on for the month ahead, for September? Next question is, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, write it down, and then take a breath, close your eyes again, and go back into meditation. So the question is, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? The next question is, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of? Whatever comes to mind, just write it down. And then just a last question. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you need to know, need to do, need to be? Is there anything else? And now just allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, have a big stretch. Blessings to all of you. Okay, so welcome back, if you're back.
Hello there.
Hi, did you enjoy it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so for all of you, whatever answers you got, you can trust them. And I just want you to know that you can do this anytime yourself. Go into a meditative state, have a few questions like these, ask yourself a question, or if you're missing an answer in your life and you're looking for an answer, go into a meditative state, ask the question, and you generally will have some highly intuitive answers come to you. So if you enjoyed this meditation, and you want to consider going deeper or doing more of that, as I said, there are the Silva Method dates. Feel free to make inquiries or go to the website. Otherwise, everyone, I'm just going to stop the recording and